Hey, we're back, Final Fantasy IX, and you might want to keep hitting the frickin' button.
Anyways, as I was saying, we were talking about Final Fantasy 14 and what characters I played as and whatnot, but don't do that.
It's my controller.
I was, God, what the frick was that? I was talking about my cat character. Yeah, they're like a
He's
Neko.
a furry, guys.
They're like a Neko. But yeah, I was a cat character.
Furry.
And I was part of a guild called Casting Couch.
Furry.
And the leader of the guild's name was Buttplug. He was one of those giant, like, really big boulder-looking dudes. I forgot what they're called. But I stopped playing on that account for a long time, and I just decided to delete the character. And then I restarted when they brought in a DLC, not a DLC, but an update, because it's in MMO, so they bring in updates. They brought in new classes and 2 new races, and one of the races was Draconic Humans, and I decided to play as that as well, and I named him either Zane or Zidane, or no, Zane or Xavier, I don't remember. But I got to like level 50 with that character.
Have you played it in a while?
No, I deleted my subscription. I haven't played it in like years. They brought in Red Mage class finally too, but I don't care to go back and play it. Oh, well, they brought in Sid. He's a regent in this one. Just eat your tum, you child.
You know what we need to go back to, Justin? Guts and Glory.
I was starting to feel better.
Wasn't there a thing I remember some people saying, like, in Final Fantasy 14, if you chose, like, the female class, because there are a lot of men would choose female classes, and they would get, like, because people would think you're a girl and get you all this stuff.
They would help you out, yeah.
Like, a lot of, like,
I just helped out anyone, really, mostly. I was the leader of our guild, and I was, like, level 39.
That was
with my cat class, though.
Yeah, I had friends that they went online for stuff and been like the female versions of the characters.
Actually, with my
and they got a lot of help and stuff because they were just the female character.
Yeah, you get that a lot in World of Warcraft. With my
I don't know
my
why.
dragon class, I think I was a monk actually, and not a gladiator.
I don't know why people do that when you choose a female character, because they realize that could be a guy.
Nerds are dumb.
Like, especially when they realize that what type of game they're playing. That it's dominated by.
Chaz actually played a female character in Final Fantasy 11. It wasn't his main. He used it mainly for storage. He would like send items to it to keep because you had limited storage in that game. But yeah, he would mess around with it sometimes.
How about making a YouTube account called Gomez? What was it?
Ryan Gomez. That's my YouTube account now. I don't post any videos or anything, so don't go looking for it.
You subscribed to the channel, though.
Yeah.
I've seen the name. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that, yeah, and I was like, who's this?
It's me.
Oh, now I can report for spam.
I'm not spamming you, though.
Well, I'll just link it to that Chaz's account that spammed someone.
That account doesn't exist anymore, or else I wouldn't have been able to name mine Ryan Gomez.
I was thinking of getting 14, but I'm not. I was because I have a friend of mine that would really.
It's
like
really easy.
Because there's a friend of mine who really likes it, and he was like, "Hey, if you get it, you can like join me, and I would help you out doing all this stuff." And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really a big MMO guy. Like I like RPGs, but not when it's like.
I'm really big into MMOs, so for me it was kind of boring because it was super easy. I was level like 39 to 40.
I know
level 50 missions.
I know that. I remember you were saying, but you also didn't like it because a lot of people would just rush through everything.
Yeah, in that game, you have to have a party in order to do a dungeon. And if you don't, they set you up with a random generated party.
Oh.
And the people are pretty much almost always a-holes. And then in the end, they would mark me up after being a huge a-hole to me because I was always the best in the group. Because I knew what I was doing when it came to...
Alright, wait. So I'm guessing you didn't have a party, so you got matched with random people?
No, because I was always a solo player. And even when I wasn't, even when I was part of a guild, they were all like level 50s. So when I would do my storyline quests, they didn't really want to do it, so...
So when you went into a dungeon by yourself, you just get matched with random people?
Yep.
And so...
And they were all idiots mostly, other than a few. And most of the few that weren't idiots were actually girls.
Surprisingly.
You can tell the difference between a guy and a girl when you're playing with them on accident.
But
the girls are like, "Oh, you did a good job. Thank you for the help. It was nice to meet you. It was nice doing a dungeon with you." And then they friend you on it, and you're just like, "Oh, hey, cool." I mean, a few guys are like that, but not many. A lot of the guys are like, "What the frick are you doing?"
Yeah, see, that's the
Let's just go straight through this. Why are you wasting time?
That is one problem, like...
And it's like, I'm not wasting time. I'm finding us items. Do you want these level 40 freaking green tag boots or not? And then I'd end up high bidding on them so none of them got it. Whenever they complained and I saw that there was an item that they wanted, I'd high bid on it so they couldn't get it. Because I was lower level than everyone.
What did you say?
Get so mad.
What did you say that they ranked you or something?
They would up-rank me because I would pretty much take on the bosses by myself. Because not to sound full of myself, but I was probably one of the best tanks in the game. Because I was so under-leveled, but I could tank through freaking summon bosses like nothing. Like Ifrit, I took him down easy and I was like 10 levels under.
Yeah, like I'm not sure I would spend, that's this thing, I don't know if I would want to spend money on it.
Yeah, because it's a subscription game, so you gotta pay $15
a month?
A month.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do that.
It was worth it for 11 because 11-1 was a lot harder. 2, the community was a lot nicer of people. You could run into random people and they'd be like, here. Like one time I was doing a fishing quest and this dude was fishing next to me and he was like, "Hey, I noticed you were fishing and you're using an old rod. Here, I'll give you mine." Gave me one of the best rods in the game. Gave me like 999 of the best bait in the game. And he's like, "Oh, you don't owe me anything." And then he took me to a spot to fish for money in order to get stacks of a rare fish in order to make money. And then I became rich in that game and I was only like level 15. I don't even remember the dude's name, but dude, whoever you are, you're a good man. He was also my kind of race as well. He was also a red mage.
You know, it'd be funny if you randomly ran into the video, saw that, and be like, "Hey, bad day."
I missed that game. Back when it was still booming, people were everywhere too.
Wasn't?
No matter where
but
you
11
went,
was on
like,
the PS2 though.
It was on the PS2 and the PC.
Oh really? I didn't know it was on the PC.
Yeah.
Because like on the PC, I don't know if you were able to play that on the PC.
It's probably still my favorite MMORPG to this day.
I know that the servers are down, but some people like have the have their own servers they're playing on it or something.
Actually, they keep a few of the servers up still. I think there's like 8 servers altogether up. And our dad and I got it back a while ago. I want to say maybe 3 years ago or something. And we played it for a little bit, and we ran into this group and they were cool people and everything, but the game just didn't have the same flair that it did because the economy and everything was dead because not enough people were playing.
What do you mean the economy?
The economy that see in the MMORPG there was an economy because like you could sell things to other players, and that's what you would get stacks of rare items for. Sorry.
You can just hit it because we're not. Anyway, yeah. What were you saying?
You get stacks of rare items and stuff. Like let's say, that was the main focus of the game. Pretty much, you would go out, you would grind, you would get stacks of a specific item to sell on what was called the I think the board market or something like that.
Yeah.
And you would sell that stuff, and you'd sell stacks of like 5 or 10 for like thousands of gil in order to buy higher level equipment to take on higher stuff and get further into your class level and whatnot, and class ranks. So, and also in order to change classes and level up other classes as well. Because you could play as every class in that game. You could just switch whenever you felt like it. And I did that often, actually. That's why I was such low level in 11, because I played as every class. But I mained Red Mage.
You think they'll ever do another MMO, or is it 14 just still going right now?
14's still going, for sure. They just came out with an update that brought in Samurais, I think, and Bards.
I'm just wondering how long it'll take before they actually make another Final Fantasy game. I know that 15 took
I believe
a while.
they said they were working on 16.
I don't know.
Cause they're working on a lot. They say they're working on a lot, but mainly it's just ideas that they have.
Yeah.
But yeah. Another cool thing about 11 is it was hard. It was challenging. If you were not the right level for the area that you were in, even like 2 levels below, you were gonna get killed. You could maybe take on one that's 2 levels ahead of you, but if you take on 2 monsters 2 levels ahead of you, you're dead.
You know what's weird about.
But in frickin' Final Fantasy 14, I could take on a horde of level 10 like 10 levels higher than me, and just shield throw them and just knock them all out. It was ridiculously easy.
You know, the one is probably because it's also a new generation, so they make it hard or easier.
I like a little bit of challenge, but that was just dumb easy. Like, I took on area bosses by myself.
The reason why it's weird about 11 and 14 is because they're MMO, and they're numbered games, but they don't have this. They're not like
They have a story. Both of them have stories.
a main story.
Yep. They're actually.
Do they have cutscenes and everything?
Yep. They have main characters, main story.
Is that offline or online?
Online.
How do you do that? See, that's just weird doing story stuff online. For me, anyway, it feels
I
like
mean,
that.
people can't interact with what you're doing in that story unless it's like a public dungeon. But a lot of the story quests that you do yourself are private and only access to you and whoever is in your party.
Oh.
But another thing that they didn't, I'm not sure if they had it in 14, but they did have it in 11, something called link shells. And what that is, and it's not a party, it's like and it's not like a guild either. It's like a group of people that you can have access to by holding an item in your inventory. And you can have multiple of them, and you can talk to those people about certain things. And a lot of people kept them to have access to talk to, like, groups of people that would be like, oh, this is a group of red mages that I know, this is my party group, this is my group that does raids together. And I don't know if 15 had that or not, or 14. 14 did have a better guild economy, though, than 11 did. But 11 had pretty much everything else better than 14.
What if Skies Riccardi had an MMO? I think that would work pretty interesting. You'd just be like a pirate RPG, you know?
I would play it. Dude, Skies of Arcadia could drop a trading card game and I'd play it.
A trading card that was just a video game?
Yeah, I'd play it. You know how long it's
What
been
if it was a
since-
mobile game and it was like one of the like the Winnie the Pooh thing from Kingdom Hearts 3?
I'd be really sad about it.
But you'd still play
and
it.
I would judge myself for it till the day that I die. But I would play it. I would play it.
Wait, what happened to him?
He got turned into an oogloff.
A what?
Like a little creature, little insect, but what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. The Dot Hack series actually had an MMORPG, and I didn't learn about it until it was canceled, until it was closed down. I learned about it like 2 years after, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
It's probably Japan only though.
Yeah, but they had emulators and translators that could bring it over to America, and you could play on the Japanese server, just like with the DBZ RPG.